Hello everyone, Charles Watts here. Welcome back to Inside Arsenal. It is Wednesday. We are halfway through the week, everyone. The weekend is very nearly here, or it feels like it's very nearly here. Anyway, it's been a long couple of weeks, isn't it? The international break always is this time of the season. The first international break just sort of kills the momentum that the season just starts to get going. But we are now at the end of it. It is done. Everyone is heading home, and fingers crossed, I think everyone is heading home injury-free, which is obviously the most important thing when it comes to the international break. And it has been a really, really good international break for Arsenal as well. Really good, I think, when you look at it. Barring any injuries that we don't know about yet, it couldn't have gone any better. Players have done well. They've scored goals. They've got assists. They've raised their confidence. They've got fitness levels back up in the case of someone like Martin Odegaard, for example. Some of them have had a rest. They haven't played that much as well. Two Brazilian boys we'll talk about last night didn't get any minutes in their game against Bolivia, so they're nice and rested. So I think it's been a really, really good international break for once. So yeah, that's a good thing. We're going to talk about that in today's show. We're going to talk about the game against Nottingham Forest on Saturday, which we can now really start to focus on, given all the international fixtures are behind us. We'll look at some of the decisions facing Mikel, what he might do in that game. I think certainly on the left-hand side of the attack, that is the most interesting point when it comes to the team selection on Saturday. Does Gabriel Martinelli keep his place in the team? Does Eberechi Eze come on and make his first Arsenal start in that game? So we'll talk about that. Got some questions, some comments from you guys as well. Another big, big thank you from me. Really big, heartfelt thank you from me for everyone who has expressed their sort of sympathy with what's going on at the moment with Google, with YouTube at the moment. Obviously, I have lost the ability to monetize the channel, which I've told you about in the last couple of shows, which is pretty worrying, to be fair. I'm trying to look on the bright side at the moment, and hopefully at some point in the, I don't know, not too distant future, I will be able to get the ability to switch the ads back on and actually start making money out of this, which is very, very important because it is like the focal point of my business at the moment. But as I said, thank you so much for all the kind words and the support that you give me. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much to everyone who signed up to Patreon as a way of support for that as well. Really appreciate it. I had a big influx of people over the last couple of days signing up to the get the exclusive extra Patreon content. You would have got the Arsenal Press Pass show yesterday, myself, Simon, and Art de Rocha. I'm sitting down with Anders Limpar later today for the next episode of my Arsenal story. Can't wait for that. One of my all-time favourite Arsenal players. Can't wait to sit down and chat with him about his Arsenal story. That'll be going out exclusively to Patreon members in the not too near future as well, which I'm really looking forward to. So thank you, everyone. If you want to sign up and become a Patreon member, support the channel, you can do that down below in the description. The link is there. Just copy and paste it into your browser, sign up, become a member, and yeah, join in the growing community that we have over there. There's also going to be a September shirt giveaway launching very, very soon as well. So you need to, if you're going to become a member, you can get your name into the hat for that and try and get your hands on an Arsenal jersey. You've already given away a fair few of those this season as well. Right, let's round up last night's internationals. As I said, really good end to a really good international break for Arsenal. Special night for Noni Madueke scoring his first England goal. Brilliant performance by England. It's been waiting a long time for that under Thomas Tuchel. It finally came last night in arguably their hardest game of the whole of World Cup qualifying, going away to Serbia. Could always be a tricky game, but England smashed them 5-0. And Noni Madueke had a really, really nice moment scoring his first England goal. Was a lovely goal as well. Brilliant from Morgan Rogers' flick. But then Noni Madueke playing on the right in the absence, obviously, of the injured Bukayo Saka, raced onto it. Great pace, drove into the penalty area. Great finish with his left foot as well. And you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, the picture of him there. Obviously, a very, very happy man. He spoke after the game about what it felt like to score his first England goal. And it's just another encouraging sign from Noni Madueke. I've really liked what I've seen so far. Really liked from what I've seen from him in an Arsenal shirt, that he was obviously the big bright spot in the game at Liverpool before the international break. He's carried that form into the internationals of England. And yeah, looking forward to seeing what he brings when he comes back and plays for Arsenal. So good moment for him. Declan Rice chipping in with another couple of assists for England, backing up the goal he scored against Andorra at the weekend. A couple of really good set-piece deliveries from Declan Rice, which you know all about. The first setting up the opening goal for Harry Kane. The second was for it was Mark Gahey's goal, wasn't it? And that was really, really great free kick, landed it absolutely on the money. So really good from the England boys. Eze didn't feature in that game. Miles Lewis-Skelly, of course, didn't make the squad for that one, but Madueke and Rice doing the business for England. Martin Odegaard, wow. What a performance. Unbelievable result, first of all. I think it was Moldova. They were playing at 11-1. Erling Haaland scored 5 goals in that game, which is just ridiculous. 5 on Martin Odegaard. If you haven't seen him yet, and I know they were playing Moldova and all that sort of stuff, and people are just going to sort of label that on him, but you don't see many teams beat even Moldova 11-1. It was a really impressive performance from Norway, and Odegaard was absolutely at the front and centre of it. First half performance, he ran the show. You look at his numbers: 134 touches, 13 passes into the final third, 1 possession 11 times, won 9 duels, 9 touches in the opposition box, 8 chances created, 8 key passes, 3 tackles, 2 interceptions, 2 big chances created, both really good assists for Erling Haaland, 2 assists himself, obviously, and 1 goal. The assist for Haaland's third, the hat-trick goal, superb. Absolutely superb. And some of the pre-assists he got in on some of the goals as well. The one for the opener, actually, the ball over the top to Erling Haaland. It was brilliant from Odegaard, and fingers crossed, that's really good signs. First game in the international break, he got 45 minutes coming back from that sort of shoulder injury that stopped him starting at Liverpool. So that was good. And then having this sort of performance, playing that well, getting that sort of confidence boost. It's the hair. I'm telling you, it's the hair. We're going to see a new Martin Odegaard. We're going to see him back to the best thanks to that haircut. I thought it was a brilliant performance from him from what I saw. I didn't see the whole 90 minutes, but watching the highlights packages and specifically the sort of Odegaard compilations, you look at the spaces he drifted into, he's all over the pitch. He wasn't just on the right-hand side, he was on the left-hand side. He was playing very centrally as well. He's just everywhere, tracking back, winning his duels. And the passing, some of the runs that Erling Haaland making were fantastic, brilliant runs. But Odegaard was spotting him and picking the pass. So that was a real positive for him as well. An unbelievable night for Norway. Elsewhere, we had Hincapie played the full, I was going to say 90 minutes, but it was about 110 minutes, I think, in the end in their game against Argentina. I think the first half was basically an hour long in that one. But Ecuador beat Argentina 1-0. Again, sort of watching the compilation of Hincapie in that game looks really, really impressive. He started as a left back, I think he kind of finished the game playing more as a left-sided centre back. He gets up and down the pitch. He's so fast. His recovery pace is so good. It was a great result for them. Another clean sheet for Ecuador. Remarkable record that they have. And there was no minutes for Gabriel or Martinelli either for Brazil. They lost 1-0 at Bolivia. Both of those were unused substitutes in the game. Mascara didn't play for Spain under 21s either. So some of these players are coming back very well rested. They haven't had 90 minutes in their legs, which is a really, really good thing. And some of the other players who have played have come back and got decent, assists, goals, confidence boost. So I think it's been a really good international break. I don't often say that, but I really do think it's been a good international break for Arsenal. I had a comment on it, actually. Let me just bring this one up. Who's it from? Louis, who says, "Hi, Charles. Watching the England game and another couple of assists for Rice. At the time of writing this, the international break, we've had Odegaard 2 assists, 1 goal, Madueke 1 goal, Rice 3 assists, 1 goal, Ranieri 1 goal, Marino 4 goals, Gyökeres 1 assist, Zubimendi 1 assist. Amazing attacking talent, not even factoring Saka or Havertz, who would play there as well. There is no excuse for boring football this season. No, it's definitely no excuse for boring football. Arsenal have got unbelievable players. They're stacked in all areas of the pitch. So, no excuse for boring football. Hopefully, we're not going to see that. And I don't think we will see that when you look at the talent they've got on display in attacking areas now. I'm sure Arsenal will entertain us. I certainly hope Arsenal will entertain us this season. But it's just been a really good, fruitful one. I imagine Mikel was sitting there pretty happy with what he's seen during this international break. But it is behind us now, thankfully. Hallelujah, it is behind us. We do have football, Premier League football, to really sort of focus on and talk about from this point onwards. I can't wait to do that. So, Nottingham Forest this weekend, obviously, at the Emirates, early kickoff. Need to bounce back from that defeat against Liverpool. Absolutely need to bounce back for it. Get back on track, 3 points in the bag, and just get going ahead of another really sort of tricky run of fixtures. Obviously, Man City to come the week after that. In terms of the sort of team selection, obviously, maybe the internationals will come into it. They will factor into it a little bit when it comes to Mikel Arteta and his team selection. We'll wait and see what everyone's like when they come back. They'll assess them at London Colney. The Brazilian boys, I'm sure, will probably be arriving back later on today. Not sure if they'll go into Colney today. They might wait until tomorrow when they'll go in and be assessed, see how they're getting on. The fact it is the early kickoff, it's the least amount of recovery time you could have after the international break. So that might factor in for the people who've done the long journeys. Hincapie as well, you've got to factor into that as well. I think the left-hand side is a really sort of key one in terms of what Mikel is going to do for this. Obviously, Gabriel Martinelli has been struggling this season. He struggled in pre-season, didn't really light it up. He struggled at the start of the season. He had a very tough afternoon against Liverpool. There's a lot of spotlight on him. And you factor in the fact that Eze has come in as well, and there's been a real groundswell of support for him to get into the side. And I really hope Eze starts this game. I think that is the one big decision facing Mikel when it comes to his potential team selection for Saturday. The fullbacks as well, there's always a question mark over the fullbacks. But I think providing Calafiori's fine and he's fit, and he's another one who didn't play the second game of the international break. So as long as that wasn't due to an injury, and we haven't heard that it is, then that should be, I think Calafiori continues as the left back for the game. You've got Lewis Skelly, who could potentially feature, obviously Hincapie as well. But I think Calafiori, the way he's playing, he's just been named the August Player of the Month on Arsenal.com, deservedly so as well for the way he started the season. So I think he keeps his place. I think at fullback, there's a chance that Ben White's going to be fit. He's been struggling with his hamstring injury for a while now, but Arsenal are hopeful that he will be fit for Saturday's game. We'll get a bit of an update, I'm sure, from Mikel potentially on that at the press conference on Friday. But even if he is fit, I still think Timber starts at right back. You'll have Mosquera if Saliba's not going to make it, and we don't think Saliba will make it. You'd imagine it'd be Mosquera right-sided centre-back and Gabriel. So I think the defence kind of picks itself, even with the injury to Saliba. Just about what do you do on the left-hand side of that attack? Do you stick with Martinelli, give him another go, or do you go with Eze? Personally, I'd go with Eze. Absolutely go with Eze for this game. I'm not sure Martinelli's done enough to keep his place in the team. And I think Eze, even when we saw that little cameo at Liverpool, yes, he missed an opportunity when he went through and didn't get his shot away, but he immediately just brought a little bit more life to that left-hand side of the attack. So I think that will be the key decision for Mikel. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. Now we can really start focus on the Forest game. What would your 11 be for the game? What changes would you make? What sort of match do you think you're going to come up against when it comes to Nottingham Forest? Obviously, Ange Postecoglou is going to be in charge for that game. Will we see a different Nottingham Forest? Will Zinchenko play? Maybe he will. Maybe Zinchenko is going to be at left back for that game, potentially against Madueke. Who knows? Obviously, we don't know about Bukayo Saka yet either. Again, that might be an update we get from Mikel Arteta, whether Saka is close to a return yet or not. I do think with Saka particularly, there's going to be a lot of focus on that Manchester City game. Can he be back for Manchester City? If so, do you take a risk against Nottingham Forest? Potentially not. We do also, of course, have Champions League starting up next week. Arsenal travel to Spain for that game against Athletic Bilbao on Tuesday night. So that will have to be factored into the equation as well. So lots to consider. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Who starts against Nottingham Forest? What changes would you make? Get down into the comments and let me know. Right, here's one from Vanagana, sorry, says, just with respect to Martinelli, do you think the fan base often classifies him more with Alexis Sanchez, and should we not be looking at him a bit more like Ray Parlour? Ray was above average going forward, but he worked so hard defensively as well. Ray's effort on the right gave Pires Overmars freedom down the left. I think Eze will start on the left once Saka is back. I think Madueke will play there too, but let's not disrespect Martinelli. Do I think the fan base often classifies him? No, I don't really think they do. I mean, Alexis was just unbelievable. God, what I would give for peak Alexis Sanchez right now in this Arsenal team. That we would win the Premier League right now. If Alexis Sanchez and in his prime years came and was on the left-hand side of this Arsenal attack, they would win the Premier League with this team. 100% without a shadow of doubt. What a player he was. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't think I'd ever compare Gabby or Ray Parlour. I mean, Ray Parlour's one of my favourite players. He was brilliant. He was way more than above average going forward. Ray, he just did not get the respect he deserved. I didn't think Ray Parlour, in terms of what he could do from an attacking standpoint. He was so good. Absolute big game player. If you ever wanted a player or guarantee a player perform in a big game, it was Ray Parlour. Just did it time and time again in finals, which is so impressive. Still think the 1998 FA Cup final against Newcastle, Ray Parlour's performance in that game at Wembley in the 2-0 win, just one of the best individual performances I've ever seen by a mile. He was just fantastic. So no, but I agree with your point. Let's not disrespect Martinelli. Absolutely not. I think we've all got such a soft spot for Gabby Martinelli. That's why I think there's, we all just want him to do well. We all want him to find his best form again. He's been such an integral part of this shift in quality at Arsenal over the last few years, and we all want him to find that form again. Is he going to? I don't know. It feels like he has plateaued, and I'm not sure if he can get up to another level again. I hope he can, but I'm not sure if he will. But I don't think there's going to be any. I don't think we should be disrespecting Martinelli. Absolutely not. He's done so much since. He's been a brilliant signing. And what a great piece of scouting that was, and what a fantastic signing he's been for such a small amount of money. And whatever happens from this point onwards, he'll always be a fantastic signing for Arsenal. So thank you very much for your comment. On Nottingham Forest, I asked yesterday what you think would be a good thing with the fact Ange is coming in and what any changes he might make for Forest. Will that be a good thing for Arsenal? Are you worried about it? The new manager bounce, all that sort of stuff. P. Shanman says, hey, Charles, thanks for the content. As always, I've listened to your channel basically every morning for as long as I can remember. Thank you very much for that. So regarding Ange, I think it's a good thing for us. A change of style, and more importantly, what's been coming out about how upset their players are at the whole situation seems as if he is going to have some work to do regarding getting players on board. Dennis says, speaking of the Forest and the new manager bounce, hopefully it isn't a case of famous last words, but I don't think there will be a new manager bounce. Forest have done very well under Nuno, and apparently the players appeared happy to work under him. Personally, I don't think the players will be happy that he's been sacked, and I think if any performance is going to happen, it will be more of a negative one for their players. Had Forest been in a relegation battle last year, I could very well see a bounce for a new appointment, but I really don't see it happening here. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I hope I am right. And then finally, Scott says, hey, Charles, on the Forest game, stylistically, Ange will leave gaps for us to break on rather than Nuno's low block. It's a big change in styles of manager for them. But if the game does go into an end-to-end slug match, I say we'll come out on top, but it could easily be a 0-1 snooze fest as well. Anything is possible with this Arsenal team. Let's hope it's not a 0-1 snooze fest. Scott. Yeah, I have to admit, normally I do get really worried about new manager bounces. I've been hurt by them too many times before. I have to admit, and this is famous last words, probably, I'm not overly concerned about this one. I think mainly because Arsenal are at home. I think I'd be a lot more concerned if it was at the City ground, but I'm not overly concerned on this one. I think if Ange does try and change things immediately, which I think it'd be crazy to do, but I think if he immediately tries to change the style that they've been so used to playing for such a long time now, that could cause them real problems, and it could leave space for Arsenal to exploit. So I'm not massively concerned about it, I have to say. So thank you very much for everyone getting in touch. Jason has got in touch on the Discord, says, good luck with your Google issue. The AI chatbot shuffle is the worst. It certainly is, mate, Jason. It certainly is. It is like banging your head against a brick wall. Just to be able to speak to a human would be very nice, especially when the issue is so serious. But it is what it is. You say it's a little early to start talking about the City match, but big picture, should we use Marino as our striker for matches that Havertz would have started if uninjured? Hindsight is 2020, but do you think we'd have done better at Anfield with Marino as 9 and Ranieri as the right 8 and Gyökeres coming off the bench? Oh, it's a tough one. I just don't think optics-wise it would be very good. Imagine you spend all this money, you finally bring in a striker that we all wanted and we've waited for a long, long time. You bring that striker in, and then you don't play him in favour of a central midfielder. I just don't think optics-wise that would be good. I don't think it would be good for Gyökeres or his confidence. Do I think Arsenal might have done better? Maybe, but I don't think Gyökeres was the major problem at Anfield. I really, really don't. I don't think there was any massive problems. And if there were, it was the left-hand side of the attack was the biggest issue. But Arsenal were 5 minutes away from a very good result at Anfield. And had it not been for an unbelievable free kick, a dead ball situation, they'd have got that result. And I'd have been very, very happy with it. So I don't know. And I just don't think you can be starting Marino ahead of Gyökeres while Havertz is injured. I really don't. I think you've got to stick with your striker, play him through, get the team used to him, and see what happens. And I absolutely, fingers crossed, hoping to see another couple of goals from Gyökeres on Saturday at the Emirates, just like we saw last time Arsenal were at the Emirates. And finally, there's one here from DJ B. Says, any information off the Eze shirts have outsold Gyökeres yet? If not, I have to imagine he'll overtake him at one point. I still feel all the good vibes. Love the latest video. Big up for your work. Love watching your content over here in Minnesota. Thank you very much. No, I haven't had any information yet on the Eze shirts. Arsenal have been really struggling with the demand for shirts this season, this summer. I've been waiting for I ordered one for my daughter, didn't have Eze or Gyökeres, actually had her name on the back. For her birthday, and been waiting for ages for it to arrive. And I literally got the notification this morning that it had been shipped. And talking to other people on the Discord, so many of them have been waiting for shirts that just haven't arrived yet, that they ordered ages ago. Like Eze printed ones on the day that he was announced, and they announced the sort of free printing, all that sort of stuff. It was ordered, and they've still not got theirs yet. So I think they're really, really struggling. I'm going up there with my son's shirt. He's got the away kit, and he wants Gyökeres on the back. And I'm going up there really early on Saturday before the game to get in the printing queue to try and get it done at the Armory, because I can just imagine how much of a nightmare it is going to be. Demand is huge. I think that's a good thing good thing. It's a good sign. Everyone's liking the signings. They want the shirts. And they want their names on the back of the shirts, which is a good thing. But I think Arsenal might need to learn a few lessons for next summer in terms of getting these things out a little bit quicker, because it seems like they have been struggling an awful lot this summer. And that's it from me today, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for the support, as always. Thanks for the kind words. Thanks to everyone who signed up to Patreon. If you want to sign up, you can do. The link is down below in the video description. Just copy and paste it in your browser. Head over to Patreon, sign up, and join the growing community that we have over there as well. Right, until tomorrow. Speak to you soon, everyone. Have a good one. Bye-bye.